Unity. Yeah. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. Feel it. Gotta make the world feel it. Feel it. Yeah. Gotta make the world feel it.
One body, one mind.
When you think of Gentiles, what comes to your mind? Who are the Gentiles?
Pretty much everyone that's on the planet, pretty much, except for
God's chosen people?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you consider yourself a Gentile?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't claim to have come from a Jewish background.
Okay, so that's the problem. That's what we're trying to show you, that you are the real Jew. You are not a Gentile.
Right.
You got to understand that, brother. You are from the tribe of Judah. You are a real Jew.
Right.
You're not a Gentile. Watch this. Give me first, because you got to know the history of how, because in the New Testament, when you read about Gentiles and Christ coming for the Gentiles and all that, those were Israelites.
Right.
That's what you have to understand. Because yes, Gentile means other nations, but it can also mean the children of Israel.
Right.
The children of Israel. We became Gentiles, brother. So you got to understand that you're not a Gentile. Give me 1 Kings 11:11. We're going to go through the history, because you got to understand this, bro. When you call yourself a Gentile, you are cutting yourself from the promises of God.
Right.
You understand? And you are an Israelite. Watch, read that. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 11.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 11. Wherefore the Lord saith unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou have not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rip the kingdom from thee.
You will do what?
I will surely rip the kingdom from thee.
So what you have to understand, Brother Darren, there was a split in the kingdom.
Right.
You had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi became the southern kingdom, and you had Ephraim on down became known as the northern kingdom.
Right.
There was a split, right? Go to verse 31, next page. Verse 31, yep.
Verse 31. And he said to And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces.
Take thee what?
Take thee 10 pieces.
Take thee 10 pieces, known as the 10 tribes of Israel, which is northern kingdom. Read.
For thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rip the kingdom out of the hands of Solomon, and I will give 10 tribes to thee.
So, like I said, there was a split. The northern kingdom of Israel went off into idolatry.
Right.
Cut off. Hosea 4:17. They got cut off from being a nation. That's what happened. That's who became Gentiles. The northern kingdom of Israel. They were no more God's people. You understand? Watch. We're going to go through the history. Hosea chapter 4, verse 17. Come on.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 17. Ephraim is joined to idols.
So Ephraim, the northern kingdom, went off into idolatry. What happened? Read.
Let him alone.
Let him alone. God cut them off. 1 Maccabees 1:41. Not only did the nation or the northern kingdom went off into idolatry, but you had the nation of Israel started following the ways of the other nations. Started following the ways of the Gentiles. And that's what made them become Gentiles. You understand? 1 Maccabees 1:41. Read.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
What does that sound like today? That everybody should be one people. Religion, very good. Democracy, new world order. That's what we're reading in the time of the Greeks. Right, read.
And everyone should leave his laws.
That everyone should leave his laws. Right, read. Come on.
So all the heathens agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So all the heathen, all the Gentiles agreed, but watch this, read.
Yea, many also of the Israelites,
Of the who?
Of the Israelites considered to his religion.
You hear that? They started, like you said, religion. They started following the ways of the kings at that time. The ways of the Greeks, the heathen, the Gentiles. Right? Jump down to verse 48.
Verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised.
So this is how we became Gentiles. We left our children uncircumcised because the law was for the children of Israel to circumcise their children, right? Read.
And make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation,
Read.
to the end that they might forget the law.
You see that? That was the whole purpose, that we would forget our laws, right? Read.
And change the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Hear that? So if you didn't follow the ways of the kings, of the Greeks, of the Gentiles, you were put to death.
That's
Second
right.
Maccabees 6. What are we going over? How the children of Israel became Gentiles. How we became Gentiles.
Right.
You understand? But you are from the tribe of Judah, of the nation of Israel.
Right.
Read that. Verse 1.
Second Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews.
To compel the who?
Compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
Hear that? To depart from the laws of our fathers. Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Hold on, before you go.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days,
Hear that? Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath. Read.
or to
Or ancient feasts.
or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So it was illegal to call yourself a Jew at that time.
Right.
So if you couldn't call yourself a Jew, what would you call yourself?
Teach.
A Gentile.
Yes, right.
Right? Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. And whosoever would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles,
Read that again.
and whosoever would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
You hear that? We were forced to be Gentiles.
Right.
Ephesians chapter 2 verse 11. That's why now when you go into the New Testament and you read about Paul going to the Gentiles, he was going to the children of Israel that were forced to become Gentiles.
Right.
You understand? Watch this. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 11.
Ephesians chapter 2 verse 11.
Bring it up.
Wherefore remember that ye being in past Wherefore remember that ye and being.
Read it again. Take your time.
Ephesians chapter 2 verse 11.
Bring it up.
Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh.
You hear that? Ye being in times past. What time was he talking about? The times of the Maccabees.
Right.
We just read in time past we were Gentiles. That's why in the New Testament Paul said, remember, you were Gentiles, not no more.
Right.
Darren, you're not a Gentile. You're an Israelite.
Right.
You understand? Last precept, Matthew chapter 4 verse 15.
Bring it out.
In time past you were Gentiles. You're not Gentiles anymore. Matthew chapter 4. Yep, and verse 15. Read that.
The book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
The land of Zebulun.
The land of Zebulun. Who's Zebulun? Guatemala to Panama. The Mayans, right? Read.
And the land of Naphtali.
Who's Naphtali? Naphtali. Argentina to Chile. Read.
By the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
What are they? What are the two Northern Kingdom tribes?
Galilee of the Gentiles.
They were considered Gentiles.
Right.
You understand? So those Gentiles that Christ is coming to save is the children of Israel. That's why they do Matthew 15:24. Hold on, last precept before you go. Last precept before you go there. Matthew 15:24.
The book of Matthew chapter 15 verse 24.
Bring it out.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He's only sent to those lost sheep, those Gentiles that forgot who they were.
Right.
You understand?
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. Iuic has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. Iuic, we deliver the truth.